will be about real user monitoring. So we call it RUM, real user monitoring. So how to do real user monitoring and what are those things? Real user monitoring means when a user navigate through a application, it could be a web application, mobile app, whatever it is, in the user interaction, in the front end or the UI, how they interact. This will help us to see the performance of the UI loading and all, tracking the bugs there, watching the user flow, how they use, and it will even easily help us to troubleshoot certain issues because it's like a screen record. So session replay if we enable, that also traceable through this one. This can connect through the behind the scene traceabilities, APM and all also, that also possible. So let's see overall how to set up. So I won't directly show in the source code how to do because this is mainly on Datadog. So I will show what is the code to be extracted and hand over to the developer team. So they know how to integrate that one. So UX monitoring, this is a portion, real user monitoring section. So first thing is to set up the configuration. So we'll go and see. Already there is a configuration set up. If not, we can go and create a new application. So I won't create new application, but I will show the window. Once go to the new application, we need to choose what is the front end we are going to monitor. JS mean all the web-based application, JavaScript, Angular, whatever web-based application, we can go for JS. Other than that, Android, iOS, React Native, Flutter, these all are mobile related matters, right? So we have to select that and give an application name. After that, we can create the application uh, and get the code to deliver to the dev team. So here we'll see go to an application list. So we are going and seeing existing application. This what we created. Edit application. So it's possible for us to go there and put more details there. So in this one, they give the code block. So we can go for npm cdn async and cdn sync, right? So cdn async and cdn sync are the one for the normal traditional JavaScript based integration. So any simple web application which only use JavaScript kind of thing, go for cdn async or cdn sync. These two also have a theory. CDN async mean it is a good performance in the web page because this particular monitoring won't block other content to be loaded. It will let the application load, interface to load, but behind the scene this RUM also will get loaded, then it will start to monitor. But CDN sync mean it will block until the um, RUM, Datadog RUM JavaScript library ready, then only it will allow the other things to load because there is a two difference. So this is performance priority, then go for this one. But if it is a tracking priority, then go for this one because they will make sure monitoring first ready, then only the other things are getting loaded. So loading errors and all can be tested. Maybe in a test environment, we can put CDN sync, while production environment, we can go for CDN async because performance very important in the production environment. NPM for this and Angular, React.js, those kind of library utilized, Node.js, then we can go for NPM based code block. After going here, whatever it is we select, then give that environment name. So environment name is good because this should be carefully considered because environment name, this is not running from a server directly. This is running on the client. So client doesn't know where it came from. So this environment is should be carefully handled. So when I give environment staging, the code will be built with the environment attribute. Like that, all the attribute will be opened as we type here. Once we give all these details, so we need to carefully handle the environment or service related thing based on the deployment environment, whether it is QA, test, or pre-prod or prod, like that. So then only we can track where it was serving from. After that, there are a few more things they were telling, like a session replay percentage. One more thing was used to be there, like um, uh, even other parameters, like how often it should be recorded. So this normally cost-wise expensive. Datadog charges based on how we use and how we store the data, right? So this particular collection percentage and the recording percentage. So recording doesn't mean they are recording a video. They are recording the HTML nodes, like how browser handle that one, HTML DOM object, how JavaScript look at the HTML tags. Then events. They record this in a text format and send to the server. Server is actually animating that one, like regenerating the HTML page and playing such a scenario. They are animating. So it's not a high quality video recording. Still the data storage cost. So in a production environment, we can go for a percentage, because if millions of users are visiting your server, there is no point of tracking for individual, as well as we only want to see the pattern. It is UX. So only want to see the pattern. So we can go for a percentage, like 5%, 10% based on our cost. So like a sample, out of the sample, we can see how user patterns are happening. In case if we want to track individual users and performance, then we have to go for 100%. Testing scenario, we are going for 100% all the time, because we want to avoid that missing data, so we can be sure how it work. So this testing going with 100% already, we set that one. After we set, they just copy this code block, all three you can copy, and send it to the developers and tell them to include into the header tag. So header tag mean any web page if you open or view page source, there will be kind of header tag, and then JavaScript loading, styles loading parts are there. So supposed to be somewhere here we have to put before the head close tag, that block. That's all we have to do. After that, when people loading, this will work without any issues, right? So that's all in the code part. After that, how it will work. So we already have recorded the views. So all the navigation will be recorded. We will have a walkthrough and see in the uh, RUM, real user monitoring. Once you go to this page, you will be allowed to select the application, the service you given the name. So select the service name. If multiple service or different teams are working on the same Datadog instance, of course, the this name is the one we have to consider. Select that name. So project selected. Then they have two portions like performance summary and feature flag. So feature flag we are not seeing because it's a new feature. We need to go through. Then they have all these parameters here. So this we have to go and search and see every parameter what it mean. But quickly we can say, so largest content paint I mean, hovering is telling. So it will show, it will tell average how long it take to render the page. Like that first input delay mean, if you click a input field, but start to type, so it average taking 8 microsecond to capture the type. Before 8 microsecond you start to type, those may missing, that kind of responsiveness data. So this is a performance based data summary is shown, but behind the scene lot of data are there, like overview, then sub tabs we can go and see the history and all. So like that we can see it. Then errors. So any JavaScript error in the front end, they will show here. In this particular scenario, we were testing in a Angular application. So there's a small problem with Angular application, because Angular applications are single page application. So they won't track that some other thing we have to find. If it is a normal page-to-page navigation application like PHP, ASP.NET, or directly from Java, Beans or something, those URIs will be captured here and listed and shown. Deployment versions, if we give, we can see between the version difference how it works. We hard coded one version only, so it shows only one version related data. So APIs also, they are telling like behind the scene what is the whole happening and all that, those kind of thing, including the resource loading and all. Right. So this is how the performance portion and the tabs will look like. Then analytic summary, product analytic, that also will have a kind of summary views. This is like a number based value. Earlier one is like a performance, like how long it took, whether errors are there, like that. But here is a number based value, like how many people came, how many hit happened, like that. For example, the session, if you take session, is like end-to-end journey. A person come to the website until he sign out or until he clear the browser cache. That will be one session. But page-to-page navigation, different thing. Within a session, multiple page navigation may happen. So they have many subsets also like this. So those individual detail we have to go and see. demographic. So area wise also possible to go and see. My test was only happening through certain VPN. That's why it is showing like that. And so demography wise, operating system wise, browser wise, splits we can see actually. Then filters also there. Everywhere the filters possible. We can filter and see. Then frustration signal. Frustration signal is a kind of tricky thing. So what they do two kind of thing captured. One is dead click, another one is rage click. These two things mainly they were talking as frustration signal. This is a place even error clicks they have. So rage click, error click, and dead click. So what they try to capture is the bad user experience in the frustration area. So dead click mean people see something like a hyperlink and click. So for example, many people are coming and clicking all these titles. It means people think this is supposed to lead to another page. So it will show us, there is a place we will show. So it will show us what are the things people are going and clicking frequently. It's like a hotspot they will show. So if you see they are clicking this title continuously, then eventually we need to change the formatting or we need to provide a drill down view on this area. Same way, some of the thing may be a hyperlink really, but when I click nothing happening, it could be a JavaScript error behind the scene happening. So that is kind of dead clicks, error clicks, so errors will be shown. Same way, rage click mean that is like a loading delay happening or something. People like frustrated and going and clicking too much time. So they were simply saying like a double click within 1 or 2 seconds. If you click 3, 4 times, they capture it as a frustration signal. So normally people do it when loading, and it's not giving any view. They will capture it as a frustration signal and show. So we have to see how much frustration signal happening to see the usability of the page. There are recording also available, but it is like just record the session replay and see. Error tracking, they will have a kind of if you have a alert set, and if the alert is listing here, it will come here. Then session explorer. So this is a place we have the session replay. This is the main portion. Once go there, people may not be patient to go and see details. This is the main thing in the RUM people used to talk about or people are interested about. So once we come to the session explorer, in an older version, it was like a session replay, different names will be there. And that used to be the first one even. So once we go to the session explorer, there are set of categories available. The session, when you click all the sessions, a user start at a journey and until he sign out or clear the cache or close the browser, that is captured as a session. Views mean individual URLs. So individual URL navigation, they will capture as a view. Then actions mean individual clicks. So especially in the Angular website, action is the only way because we don't navigate through different pages. It is a single page application. So actions are the one considered. Even here you can see right dead clicks. There is something look like a hyperlink, they click but it didn't work. So that is action one. Same way errors are there. If error, any JavaScript error happen, all the resource loading will be shown behind the scene, including the API calls. Long tasks, so any task taking long time to load and all, they just filter and show that one. So task wise, so session is the main thing we are seeing now. After come here, anywhere here, if we click, it will load another page. It will show a summary view and all the event flow, a page navigation or whatever happened, the subset will be shown. This subset is almost like we select one of the views or action kind of thing. Here also we have session replay video, or here directly click and see the video, both possible. Errors we can see here, and the page attribute we can see here. Page attribute, those additional parameter we are setting. So this is Datadog, time series data. So they will have a massive kind of data attributes in a kind of JSON. Then finally they will have a number based value. That's how the data formulated. So those attributes are the ones shown here. Those attributes like country, all these details are there. Even JSON view for easy comfortable watch we can see here. It will even help us to find that drill down parameter names, geo.as.domain, something like that. So that's why JSON view is shown. So once we come here, we go to the session replay. Even here we can go and see. This is a place to see how the session play goes. So it is showing like a recording. As I said earlier, it is not really a recording. They are recording they are getting the JavaScript DOMs. Then they are simply uh, storing the events and mouse movements, then replay and show like an animation here. So this is how that particular user was navigating. That's what's shown here. So these have more facilities like data masking. So don't worry about privacy and all. We can put multi-level masking by giving a certain HTML5 tags or a certain class saying don't show this one. So that will be masked and so. Or we can have overall masking like all the input to be masked, all the images to be masked. Like that if we put, okay, privacy data will be masked. So it's not a problem. Masking possible. So this is how he navigated. We can see the time like 96 minutes, 65 minutes because they opened the browser, forgot and gone. But in case like you want to monitor a staff on your company and how they use it, your tool or something, or they whole time they are using the tool, it is another way to measure how much they are online. So those kind of feature also possible. So this is all about this RUM side, so real user monitoring. If we go to the side panel, we can see all subset of filters also. So let's one time see the views, how it look like. You come to a view, then see this icon is even previous page it's shown, frustration signal icon, quickly viewable. And additionally, you can control the options here, adding new columns. That is one way. Download a CSV for further analysis. Those also possible. So if you click one of this page, so page wise also it will show how it will look like. Inside the page, what are the traces happened. Those also possible. So in this particular thing, we couldn't enable the trace because this particular application running behind a load balancer. If you don't have a load balancer and if the front end is directly communicating to a kind of middleware, the trace will be shown. So it will show a weaker detail. Don't worry, this trace is available on APM. So in the APM section, we will see it. But if we have an application in the kind of server directly and no load balancer in the middle and all, then the tracer can be shown here as well. So end to end in one place, easy to see. If we enable logs, front end logs will be showed here. Attributes are as usual, again coming. All the resources loaded behind the scene, errors, session replay, all possible. So as you seen earlier in the session, if you click the session replay here, they will go to a new page that will show a right hand another panel to show as here what happened. All those navigation will be shown here as well. So that is one benefit to see like what is happening here, and even it is telling what was the dead click, right? If we go to here, jump and see. So pricing, some reason like error or something happened or multiple click happened, that capturing as dead click. So this is one of the thing. Additionally, so we have funnel view. So funnel view for URL is a good one. We can see the journey how it was going in a drill down. So for example, this is only have one URL Angular. So just click that. So this is good to see whether people are going through the complete journey as we give a tutorial to them. So if you are giving a tutorial, this is how you have to raise an order. This is how you have to process a bill. Something if we give that one, that order we can pick from here, right? And see how it goes. So it will show the percentage. So if suppose my proposed journey is first supposed to be the URL navigation, then click on the cars, then click on the price, then click on the uh, analytics. What is that? This page, right? So if this is my intention, I can put this in order and see how much people are going through this journey. So in case if that is the intention we plan, and according to this report, what will happen, people are coming up to the second one. For some reason, half of the people are dropping off. But whoever go through the second one, they are going through this one and the next one also 100%. Out of 50, they are 100. So this is one of the reason this journey funnel analysis will help us to see whether people are following the guided way of doing it or they are bypassing through another way. It is only showing for the targeted one. It won't show like all the branch. That is one point to consider. Other than that, they have various visualization like time series list we already seen, like top 10, top 5, tabular format. So different views are possible. If I go to views, maybe it's easily shows geographic wise. This may be a good example, like where the traffic came from. Like that, it will show. So only UK traffic there. By hovering, we can see geographic wise how many people are visiting. So this is a free feature. If we want to implement the IP database, we have to have. So they provide it part of this one. You don't have to keep IP database to find where they come from. Funnel we seen it, tree map, and pie chart. Right, so that's all in the RUM side. We will see the APM in the next one. So behind the scene, how the RUM served and all those things will be there in the APM. That's all.